Radio Free Tatooine presents Galactic War Report, a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast.
Boshuda, fellow Holotable hustlers. You're tuned into Galactic War Report, a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast that's better than some and worse than others. I'm Sean, a.k.a. The Other Sean, and sitting across the Holotable from me is Josh, a.k.a. The Golden Pop-Tart.
Kind of feels like right now we are right about to get so much information and so much that's going to happen from New Conquest. I mean, obviously the raid stuff's coming out pretty soon.
Yeah.
Usually we hear about Galactic Legends around,
So what you're
by the
saying
end
is
of the
this
year.
is a really boring time. Before the really exciting time.
Yes, right. I'm foreshadowing it and be like, oh, you got to come back for the next one because this is the one that could be,
Skip this episode. This is nothing. But no, I agree. There's an air of anticipation, and I love thinking about that. I saw people speculating on Reddit today about who's the next Conquest character. And I've been so caught up in getting Padme and datacrons and all that stuff that I didn't give it much headspace until now. So yeah, it is actually a kind of exciting time. And like you said, the raid has been so far off my radar. So exciting time to be in Galaxy of Heroes. This Conquest is wrapped. Amidala's out there. We'll talk about that a little bit. We've got some 3v3 GAC with these new datacrons. There is plenty to talk about there.
Oh yeah.
Whew. Lots to talk about. And some other little odds and ends here too. But first, before we get into any of that stuff, let's take a little time out, celebrate some Blurf days. All right, big Blurf days this week. On the first, we got two all-stars here. B2 Battle Droid and Dengar. Both released on June 1st, 2016.
Wow. I mean, first off, you got a B2 and then a Dengar. I mean, now everything comes in basically it's like its own set, right? In this case, you got a droid that obviously, and then you got Dengar.
Dengar, what a guy. Give him a ship already. Wouldn't that be neat?
Right?
A little something extra for Executor to play with. That'd be nice.
It would be.
I feel like there's a really good fleet meta right now. The way Leviathan's the big kid, but Chimera can take it down.
Yeah.
And even if it can't, it'll do so much damage that a cleanup is easy. Profundity and Executor are pretty evenly matched. You can counter one with the other or, use those to take out just about anything else in the game. And it's just it's a nice little meta. But out of those big three, I'd say Executor could use a little push.
Yeah, definitely.
Dengar, man.
There you go.
Give him his ship. Let's do this. Let's make it happen.
There
and while we're at it, let's get Forlom and Zuckuss in this game. Let's come on. We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
That's
we got to do some bounty hunting. On the second, we've got Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum. She was one of the early releases for... no, she wasn't. I was thinking she released with an Omicron. She did not. She was just a really cool character when she came out in 2017. But she never actually really materialized to be... She didn't do much.
Yeah.
It was an awesome kit on paper, but she didn't find much use in the game until they gave her an Omicron. And she could solo Darth Revan teams.
Yep.
But then Darth Revan teams disappeared. And some of us have an Omicron on her and never use it. Until Sir Junda came out. And then she finally kind of found a real home. That said, the Omicron still doesn't do anything because you got her on a whole team. But anyways, we love us some Fulcrum.
We
That's
love
my
more of
in-game,
the Fulcrum.
like, nickname thing is Fulcrum because I love Ahsoka, and that's a really hard quest, and I finished it, so that's my flex on the game. My one and only flex.
Nice.
Let's see. On the 4th, June 4th, we've got TIE Bomber turning 4 years old. Gotta love the bomber.
Oh, yeah.
Setting ships on fire in space. It ain't easy.
I know, right? That's skill.
And then on the 6th is Shakti turning 5 years old. Shakti, really interesting kit. She's good, like a good all-around support kit.
Oh, yeah.
Spell on basic. You got heals, you got assists, you got some cool features there.
Plus
and plays well
two
on a
teams
lot of
too.
teams.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a nice part. I mean, if there's a Jedi in there, you can do it. I mean,
Or as a 5th for Bad Batch too.
Yep.
She's really good with that.
or you're just leftover clones that aren't Bad Batch.
Yeah.
And you're just like, try to do something.
Phase 2 Sarge. Get in there, buddy. You and Shock. Make it happen. Come on. All right, let's take a look at some upcoming in-game events brought to you by swgohevents.com for a complete list of past, present, and future events. swgohevents.com is a universe of info in a galaxy of heroes. Now, on the 31st, as this releases, we've got Profundity flying back into events with Stardust Transmission. We also have a Galactic Challenge. This will be on Endor. You have bonuses for Ewoks, and you're playing against Rebels. So we know it's not ships, unless we get an Ewok glider.
Unless we get some big news soon, right?
I've talked about, it's been years since I've talked about this, but what am I doing? Like talking about wanting more ships in this game. I want Ewok gliders. Put them out in space. Make it stupid. Make Star Wars weird. Let's do it.
They just put like a bubble over their head like they do in the cartoons, and they'll be fine, right?
I mean, like Sandy and SpongeBob,
yes,
right? What else on the 1st? We also have a credit heist, and we have Forest Moon assault battles. I need both of those. Yeah,
I know, right?
We were talking before the show about my first world problems. I'm down to 35 million credits. There are going to be newer players who listen to that and think, "Oh, you poor baby." And you know, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. But it doesn't seem that long ago that I was at 100 million. So clearly I'm overspending.
Yeah.
And it's got to be, I don't know what it is. I don't feel like I've been remodding more because a remod gets pricey for sure. Maybe I'm buying too many mods. I need to pump the brakes on that. But
I feel the same way though. I mean, I think I was at one point at maybe 140 and now I'm down to 40. Yeah. And I'm sort of thinking, man, what if in real life I just spent $100 million and don't remember
you'd be in
any
trouble.
of it, right?
Like, exactly. You can't document. Tax time comes around. Where'd that go? Oh.
I mean, it's a clean show, but I mean, we could put it towards something, but that, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. On the 2nd, we've got Fleet Mastery for Home 1, as well as Smuggler's Run 2. Yay.
Yes.
You know, I've been getting recommendations for using Han and Chewie for that and all these different things. And there's more than one way to skin a Gundark, right? But I've fallen into a habit with Embo and it works. And I just don't want to monkey with it. Like for that event, it's not fun, but I kind of like mentally I'm prepared. I have it figured out. If I have to restart, fine, whatever.
I kind of feel that same way. Like, yeah, I understand. I feel that same way with the Proving Grounds. There's one of them for the Interceptor, and I'll tell you what, it's a beast, and I am winning by the skin. I mean, it would just, it's so close every single time. And so basically it's Rey, and Rey just finishes it. And I keep on thinking, I should try something different. And I'm thinking, no, I'm good. Like, I like to do it a few more times. I know I probably could 3-star and just be able to do sim, but it's working. I don't have to think anymore.
Yeah. I get that. There's only so much thought you can put into this game before you start thinking like, did I leave the stove on? Like, you can't. At least me, maybe.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm curious how much of that is us being like middle-aged, busy people. You know, like if I was in my 20s and like playing video games like I used to, oof. I don't know. Maybe I'd get a little more into optimizing that. But
I think
all right, that's enough about Smuggler's
No,
Run.
I got one more. I got to say one more thing. It's a good thought. But sorry, we have to
keep on smuggling.
So like in my brain when you were saying that, I was thinking, well, it's just like screen time. Like they pull up and like this percentage of what, like, you know, I was thinking, man, if my family or my wife knew how much of that would be this game, I mean, I bet I'd be a little bit embarrassed, but I just had to say that. So sorry.
Yep.
We can move on.
Yeah. On the 3rd, we've got an Omega Battle on Bespin. We've got Grand Arena Season 53 Week 3. That's our last run of 3v3. And I believe it's no, it's not the last run of that old datacron set, is it?
No.
We get one more run.
Yeah, I think, because if we remember right, we have almost a month, right, before the next conquest. And so then it happens during that first conquest.
That makes sense.
I think so.
So let's see what else. Oh, on the 3rd, we have another Galactic Challenge. They don't announce these anymore, so we don't know what it will be, but like Gungans, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they've been kind of merciful with not putting out Gungans that often, especially considering that there are people who invested in Omicron in that Galactic Challenge one for the Gungans. I'd be kind of upset right now if I keep seeing these challenges roll out and they're not Gungans.
I mean,
that ROI is looking worse and worse and worse. And it didn't.
The nice one though, like this time around, we talked about it ahead of time, but evade is one of the pieces to it, and Jar Jar can evade like crazy. So I mean, maybe this one even was a little bit. So that one is for Gungan. So maybe they're only giving us the.
But this is ships. It's
true.
The high tiers
you're right.
of ships, anyways. So
I mean, I wish I could have used my Gungans in ships in space again with the bubbles around their heads.
Yeah. All right. On the 5th, we have another assault battle, Secrets and Shadows. And then on the 6th, we just have the Fleet Mastery for Executrix. Tarkin's ship. Don't get excited. It's just Tarkin. All right. Before we dive into all of this week's stories, I want to give a quick shout out to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoy what we do and want to be a part of our exclusive community, head over to patreon.com/Galactic War Report. Your support makes this podcast possible, and you get access to the VIP section of our Discord server for some behind-the-scenes goofiness. Now then, punch it, Pop-Tart.
All right. So why don't we start first with, you may be noticing that we have a current Grievous that is a little bit undying in the Defense of Dathomir event.
He has Night Sister magic.
Yes. Yes. Right now, he just can't be beat. So, and what they decided is okay, we could fix this, but we're basically almost done with it already. We'll go through and just leave it as is, and then we'll just give you another event. But you know, the fun thing with it is just, though, now that you can just go through and attack it and you know it's not going to die, you can have some fun with it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I saw a user on Reddit posted, at least one, posted a picture of maxing out damage, which is kind of interesting. I in all my time on Reddit, I don't think this has come up before. We haven't had something kind of broken in this particular fashion where you can use Supreme Leader Kylo And you keep siphoning and siphoning and siphoning. You get thousands of stacks at siphon. And you're, ramping up damage aggressively, right? And I don't recall if they said how long it took them to get there, but they found the damage ceiling of the game. It is 2.147 something billion damage that he can do. And then it stops ramping. And it has something to do with, I wish I were smarter. I'm not. But it has something to do with 2.147 billion, etc. Is the highest integer in a 32-bit system. So because that's what this game runs on, that's the highest number it can possibly calculate. And then it just says, no, we're not going any further. Siphon schmeifen.
I mean, it just goes back to just how much I just love this game, though. The fact there is somebody that went through, and I don't even care how long it took you, but like you did that, and then we're figuring out that's basically I don't know. That's the fun part of this game is
I saw it early this morning, so it can't be something that takes like 7 hours to do or something.
I hope so. I mean, it makes me feel even better. If you did do this and it took you like 7 hours or so, like that's great.
It's a defense of Dathomir. It's not the end of the world, right? And they said they're going to add an extra one later.
Yeah.
But when you wake up and have 18 Zeta mats and you see defense of Dathomir and you think, cool, I get a Zeta today. And that happens. Well, that's a little rotten. I don't like it.
That's funny.
GG, I guess, right? General Grievous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I'll go.
That's a bummer. We have a data mine. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of good stuff, actually. So
speaking of people smarter than us,
there you go. Again, that's another one where there's individuals that are able to take like I said, very smart people out there. So one great thing, it looks like from 6.3 to 6.6, we have some fun drops, and they call them bonus drops. So, which is kind of nice. And so each of the different energy are getting different individuals. And so for you folks that wasted a ton of Cantina energy, you also can go for Zetas here in the next few days as well. I hope that I don't have to get 11 Zetas to be able to do any events during this. So I'm hoping it'll be a cheaper time for me.
Yeah, really.
And then going into
11, that's...
Yeah, it was crazy. Omegas are going to be on light side and dark side. Now, if you're looking for your MK9 Chirotech, that's going to be on fleet. Chirotech that is Mark 7 will be in mods. And then those Gungans are going to be on different nodes, which is really fun here. So Boss Nass is going to be on light side. Tarple is going to be on fleets. And then Boomadir is going to be on mods. And your last one there is going to be on Cantina. Phalanx.
So that's now they've done this before for Leia's requirements with like Rex and Nisa and whatnot.
Yeah.
Is that how this works? If I remember correctly, I could click the link, but then where's the fun?
Right.
Is that how this works? Is that like if you have Boss Nass at 7 stars, then you'll get Zetas instead of him?
Oh,
or whatever the
you're probably right there.
Omegas instead of him.
Okay.
And then I think that's what's going on. And then on Cantina, you'll get Phalanx shards as bonus drops, but if you have a 7-star Phalanx already, instead of shards, you'll just be rewarded with Zetas. So you're not going to double dip unless it's like you 7-star them during that period, I guess. But yeah, that is worth saving. Those start on the 3rd. So if you're listening to this on the 1st or the 31st, 31st. When does this even drop? On the 31st.
Yeah, 31st, yeah.
It's about time to start thinking about your stockpiling of energy. If I'm stockpiling energy like this, I will typically get my daily stuff done and then just sit.
Wow.
And then at the end of the day, just buy. Like, and sync, right?
There you go, right? I mean, it's...
All right, Conquest is done.
Yeah?
Oh, wait. There's more. There's a thing that happened because Conquest is done. I could have rolled with that transition, you know? Could have just rolled with it. Conquest is done.
It all works, right?
And Amidala is out in the wild now. Queen Amidala. We've seen the kit. We know what she does. So now we get to actually see her in Grand Arena. As we record this on Wednesday night. So she just opened up in Grand Arena. This is it. This is our first interactions with her. In my first round of Grand Arena, I did not encounter an Amidala. Have you seen one in the wild?
No, not yet. I mean, I would love to, but on the other side of it, I'd be a little bit nervous right now, not knowing what's going to beat it. But yeah, nothing on my end.
This is the period of time when there's a new interesting character, and this is a whole team that's new. It's going to be her, and I don't even know the team. I mean, we would suspect her, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan would make sense, but I'm hearing there's like twin Padme comps, and that makes sense because the other Padme's datacron is so good. Like, I like that idea. But this is that period of time where I see this team and I throw Darth Bane at it, or I throw Supreme Leader Kylo at it, because I'm not going to be the guinea pig.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to overkill. I did the same thing with Bo-Katan when she came out. I was like, I don't know the counters. I'm just throwing something heavy at it.
It's still what I do.
From talking with people earlier, as I was streaming, Calvin Awesome was on the Twitch stream, and he mentioned that he fought one and took it down with Malgus, but that it wasn't like a really strong one, and that Malgus probably won't be an actual counter when you're facing like a legit Queen Amidala team. So for what that's worth, maybe nothing, you know.
Yeah, right.
I plan on setting it on defense. I forgot to this round, but I want to set it on defense and just, you know, see what shakes out.
I mean, looking at, you know, watching people online use it, other people kind of going through and talking about it, just seems like defense just makes a lot of sense. And, you know, of course, Omicrons play the hugest part. You know, I mean, there's going to be few out there that will they see, hopefully through videos wise, to kind of see the damage piece. But I mean, there was they were surviving. And when you have like a team that basically with three of them can really go through and actually survive good stuff. And I think, you know, can even beat a couple Galactic Legends. You know, I think that's a pretty smart idea to go and just put as much as you can into it and basically the SLKR it so you just don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. I want to nuke that thing. I don't want to learn.
Yeah.
I want to know what the counter is before I go in there.
Data.
Yeah, exactly. I want to skew the data in some way if possible. Yeah. So with that, did you unlock her?
Oh, no, I did not.
Yeah.
Failed.
Oh, we talked about it last week. That wasn't the goal.
Well, I mean, it could have been the goal if I was smarter, but then I realized that I just wasn't. I was going to end up 10 short, and it was a lot of work to get past that. So, I mean, the nice part is I don't have the other two ready to go. So the grind's going to be a moment. So in the long run, I don't feel too bad. I have decided though that this next one coming out, I have no excuses anymore. I got to beat it. Who knows what's going to be? I mean, I think it's going to be a ship, but just because it feels like we're due for another one.
I mean, that Dengar ship, make it happen,
right? But yeah, it's as They're just not there. I think it's 309 out of 330. So how about for you?
I got it. It's like I had a really good conquest. I got to max crate with like 5 days left, I think. So my last 4 or 5 days was all just grinding datacrons, which is great because I really didn't grind them before. So I ended up with a good amount of datacrons, but that was like going into, like, in that first week I had almost no datacrons. So, you know, that last week of Grand Arena, I was datacron starved. And now I'm kind of like, I'm okay. Yeah. I'm still a little light, but yeah, I got max crate. Got all the datacrons I really, really wanted. Of course I could use more. I spent a lot of time doing rerolls to make sure that you get the good level 3 ability. I can't recommend that enough. Get that good level 3, the 75%, or that's not it. That's a level 6. The 15% bonuses for your teammates. And yeah, pretty good results. I'm happy with it. And now, of course, terrified to see what lies in store for the next one. It's going to be all Gungans and Obi-Wan stuff, and whatever I don't have ready is going to be what is needed.
I mean, it really has changed just whether you like it or hate it, you know, I mean, it does change things. It's not, I mean, every time we have a change, it basically makes it to where you're not sure if it's going to work, if it's not going to work. I mean, sometimes I would think about how many times it's like, well, man, that's a counter, but not a great counter. But all of a sudden now you have dodge or something like that in there. And like, okay, this drastically changes this.
Yeah.
I mean, but does it keep it fresh?
Yeah. I mean, I think it does. I don't know. I feel like there's some burnout possible in this game, right? There's so much to do. I feel like Conquest would be super enjoyable if it didn't also coincide with territory battles or with Grand Arena or whatever. If it was spaced out better, man, I think Conquest is fun, but it's intimidating when you feel like you've been playing the game all day. You've been doing all these things and you're about to go to bed and you realize, oh, I didn't even do Conquest. What is going on? You know?
Yes.
How many times are you like going to bed and you're like, nope, I gotta stay awake just a little bit more? It's me every night during Conquest.
I mean, I try to. What I've been trying to do is I'll do stuff in the morning. And so then I'm like, all right, try my best, you know, but at the other sides of it, that means I'm not doing other things. And you only have a set amount of time in the morning before you got to actually truly go to work. But, you know, I mean, I think there's just so much time that goes into it. And for me to spend all that time and not get max crate, though, like, I got to just do better. I mean, what is it really going to happen? I'm not going to spend more time. I'm going to do the same amount of battles. Just be better. Got to be better.
Work smarter.
Right.
All right, it is time once again for our Grand Arena breakdown. Win or lose, we are here to dissect our week in Grand Arena. If you want a front row seat to this next time, I don't even know what to call it. I was going to call it the action, but it's just been... Sometimes it's a comedy, sometimes it's a tragedy. This last week it was both. But if you want to catch that live, you can stop by Twitch, the other Sean, and check it out. Also, speaking of Twitch, Tuesday. What are you guys doing Tuesday? I mean, really, what are you doing? It's the 4th. Star Wars Hunters. Swing by Twitch. We're going to play some Star Wars Hunters. We're going to check it out. Maybe we'll hate it. I don't know, but I think it looks really fun, and I bought some gear so that I can stream it. So
nice.
I'm going to pretend like I like it, even if I hate it. No, I think it looks really cool, so we're going to try it out.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Anytime you get to use any type of Star Wars stuff in anything, it's worth at least a look.
Yeah. And this is, a cool thing about it to me is it's so different in that, like, it's all original characters. So it's not going to feel anything like Galaxy of Heroes. It's going to be totally different, but it feels like a part of the Star Wars universe. So I'm jazzed. Whatever.
Yeah.
There's going to be haters out there, but I'm going to check it out. All right, let's see. This last week we have a full week of 3v3 behind us with these new datacrons. How did you do?
All right. I felt like it was decent. I didn't do so well ending of 5v5, so this time I'm like, I gotta get a little bit better as a whole. Start off with a win. Went against Quantu, maybe?
Quantu?
Yeah. So start off just normal. Usually when I see Rey, we just bane that and get it done. And then moving on, like with Leia, I love this Elsa KR. I mean, this datacron is just so much fun.
Isn't it fun? Like, he's always been fun to play, but man, he's real fun right now.
It was funny because my son was kind of watching me, and I'm like, watch this, and I did the poke, and it just deleted. And and he goes, wait, what is that? It's like, that's the same joy that you get every single time. So yeah. Leia's and Rey's were having some fun with that. The first time ever that I used Malgus on offense in Grand Arena. So took down a Qui-Gon team. That was kind of nice. I moved him from defense to offense.
That third move of his, the big hit.
Mm-hmm.
Every time he does it, I love it.
I know, it's a good delete. It's good. So, and the nice part is I actually had some pretty good defenses this week. I put Bo on defense just because it didn't have the Omicron on her just yet. So now they tried to use Sidious, couldn't do it. And then it was my other team that had a hold and basically stopped both of them. They couldn't beat Bo, and they couldn't beat my Bastila with Jedi Master Luke. And they tried C with it. It just, didn't work out. So that was kind of nice to finally get a couple holds. Usually 3v3 I do, 5v5s not too much. And then I didn't, with how kind of everything happened with them stopped, I just decided I wasn't going to do ship. So that was a big win for me that week. So is it right? Probably not.
I love that, having that privilege. Being able to just, no, I'm not gonna. I love it.
So I was able to full clear the character. So I got a 1630, and since they were kind of blocked, they kind of stopped. So their score was 63. So kind of feels good because it wasn't hey, I beat you and I could have beat you if I had the time. It was, I tried and it didn't work out. So that was kind of nice. Yeah. But now going into the second round, I had some trouble. It was it was a big boy. I think the GP was 12.9 and let's just say they did not do me any favors. Yeah, so all of the GLs on defense, anything that had an Omicron had an Omicron. It was a challenge, but it was kind of nice though because I knew I was going to lose because when I turned it on, it was 2041 is what they had. And looking at this on defense, I'm like,
a tough pill to swallow.
So I'm like, all right, let's just have some fun with it, And so gave my best. Bane did a great job against Rey. This time I used SLKR against Kenobi, which that's not as easy, but it's still nice to be able to go through and beat him, which is a great.
Good option. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then Sith Eternal took down Beck and his good group. And then Sidious took down Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. I wasn't sure if that was going to work. And, that was perfect. I loved it. And so now the nice part, let's do the bad first. I couldn't beat his gas for a moment, which, I don't see too many on defense. And so I thought, well, let me use Starkiller. I had like an 89% chance of winning. Not this one. So
nope.
That was tough, right? So then I ended up had to do cleanup with bounty hunters. And then Trench. Like I lost to Trench, and so I thought maybe Qui-Gon could do it, and that didn't work. It was a beast, but then I used Jedi Knight Luke with Cal against the Rexes, and I ended up I lost by, it had to be one. I mean, I wish there was a total, but it was just like the smallest of red slivers. So Rex survived, unfortunately, and then I got to clean up with Ewok. So it was a moral victory, even though it was a whomping. So I ended up doing 1260 to 2041.
It's bad to lose a match, but it's a gift in that now you have an opportunity to use your Ewoks.
Right.
You almost never get that. So, yeah, I get that.
I mean, I was a little bit worried, weirdly enough. I was thinking, what if? But still, I mean, because I finally now have Ewoks that are in relics. So, I mean, I've legitimately had never used Ewoks on offense before. So that was kind of nice to be able to do a couple of things new. I think using Sid versus, Moff Gideon there, that was new. So it's kind of like, hey, this is great. But the nice thing, actually, another nice thing that was new is I had put Geos on defense. And because of the bundle, guess what? I got Relic 3 Geos now. So I put them on defense, and they got 3. So they held against a solo Vader. That was awesome, right? And then they had a Imperial Trooper team lost, and then Night Sisters lost. They end up using Jedi Master Luke against it. I mean, so yes, they got 2041, but they had to use a GL on my Geos, and that's still another moral victory for me.
It is, yeah.
So yes, and so then we go into the
that's what it's all about.
Yeah, then we go into the last round. Again, it was another one where, I mean, you guys in Kyber 1 need to take these people back. Like, I know they haven't been losing, but I don't want to deal with this stuff anymore. Take these top end guys and go back where you belong, right?
They booted me out a week ago.
But yeah, so I went to the last round against Roberto, and he or she decided not really to do much, so which is great. So they ended up not having even a full, because they again had a couple holds, which was nice. So ended up making it to where they just kind of quit. So I love that. Now there's a couple things that happened though that was kind of unique. I'm gonna say unique, like being bad here, but Bane did not beat Rey, and I don't know if it was just a luck of the draw, whatever it is, but typically he survives almost every single attack. But this time he got deleted out before even Trooper and before even his pal. I can't remember who I used, but they're Relic 7. So like that was tough. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah. The worst part of that is that Starkiller couldn't beat Rey either. Then I'm like, hey, why not Jabba? Nope. So then I ended up having to use SLKR to beat it. So that was a rough one, to say the least. But being that they stalled, I was like, okay, like all I have to do is something. Other good stuff. Right. I mean, Sidious was great against Malgus again. Jedi Master Kenobi really feels like if you have a Leia, there's just no point in putting him on defense. So that was kind of nice. Malgus was able to do it. And crazy part with this, I couldn't actually finish the bottom row. So I did a full clear on ship. So I felt pretty good about that. So it was ugly, right? I mean, we had like Lord Vader. I ended up having, I think, 6 teams total. Fennec, Maul, Malicos, a Vader team. And then finally I got to solo. And then I used Imperials to take him down. Night Sisters, I lost a mirror match on that one. I had 3 battles against Unmasked Kylo Ren, and then I had 3 battles against Starkiller. So it was,
jeez,
oh man,
you got the whole roster involved.
I paper cutted this person. I mean, that's what it was. Basically, it was rough. Yeah. But again, it didn't bother. Like, I think that, again, go back, you can throw your phone or you can just go all in. And I went all in and I didn't care. And luckily, they got stalled out. So
Yeah.
So yeah,
they threw the phone.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, right? But so yeah, is that weird that I kind of wish that a little bit in some ways? I mean,
no, I think that's actually it's cause for concern, but it's not weird. It's human nature, man. Sometimes you just want your opponent to hurt.
But by the end of it, I wanted to be
that's
like,
our dark side. That's our dark
right?
side, you know?
But at the end, I just want them to be like, well, good game. You know, like, give me a GG.
Yeah.
All right. So how about for yours?
Yeah, I say that, but ultimately I want everyone to have fun. It's just like
Agreed,
sometimes I get that little sinister laugh, you know?
Oh, I did too.
All right. So for my first week, it was, have you ever smelled like really hot garbage when it's out in a dumpster, like really, really hot?
Yes, I have.
And like
yes.
you've been throwing some nasty things in that. That's basically what happened to me for a week straight. First round, I go up against Dead Inside. Now I'm in Kyber 1, right?
Mm.
I'm expecting a challenge, but golly. I in my attack, I made several mistakes and some things just like went wrong. My Seer and Malicos failed against Rey. My Bad Batch failed against Qui-Gon. That one's a little dicey, I'll give you. And then I attacked Bo-Katan with my Bo-Katan. It didn't dawn on me that I don't have her Omicron.
Mm.
So I got murdered there. Stopped dead in my tracks. And then there was a Rex team. By the time I got to it, I looked at my roster and I was like, I can't believe it, but I can't beat Rex. I have nothing left. I tried Padme. It wasn't like ideal, like Padme and Gideon or something.
Mm-hmm.
Some other Padme with 3PO or something. I tried Radis. I tried CLS, and I threw my phone. Ended up losing. However, my Qui-Gon failed against their Bad Batch also, which made me feel a little better. Ended up losing 865 to 2045.
Wow.
Ugh. Round 2, I go up against someone called Really Stoned.
Great.
And I'm like, well, maybe they'll forget to attack.
Right?
No, they did not. My Traya failed real hard against their Reva. I uncovered a Leia in the back sector, and I just didn't have anything for it. I tried Sith Eternal Emperor, which is not a counter, but I thought, I'll try it. I tried Bo. I tried Darth Vader. Like,
oh, wow.
I just kept thinking, like, what if there's, like, could I take Drogon out? And then how does that change it, you know? Couldn't do a thing. On defense, my Lord Vader held against their Bo. Nice. And my Rey held against their Bane, held against their Jedi Master Kenobi, finally took it out with Seer. So, I mean, eating up Bane and Jedi Master Kenobi, that's a flex. I like it. But at the end, it was 1737 to 2004 because I couldn't seal the deal with that Leia Organa. Round 3, I went up against Guacamole. Right?
Get so good. That's two great ones. Actually, I like Dead Inside too, to be honest.
You know what? All three of these were just like relatable, you know, at times where it was just, round 3, Guacamole. I log in and I see that they're attacking too. So we're like neck and neck. It's fun, right? My Traya, this is a theme here. Traya fails against Reva. Jedi Master Kenobi fails against Lord Vader. I wrote Pal. Pal fails against Gas. Who would that have been? Who am I trying to say?
Well, I was trying to think too.
I'm too curious. I have to look. I'm not far from my...
For me, I call Han and Chewie pals. So, I mean, that's who I would say. It was
Puppy Dog
for me,
Pals.
it would be Dash with the Pals.
Guacamole. Pow. What is that? Fails against gas. Let's see. Who failed against gas? Oh, Palpatine.
Ah, there we go.
It was not an ideal thing. It was like Palpatine, Vader, and Mara Jade. And then there was an Afra that I had nothing for. I tried Hux. I tried Iden. Just couldn't do it. On defense, Tusken Raiders got some holds against Radis and Bam. Qui-Gon got a hold against Wampa. And then Reva got a hold. Here's the theme. Again, Reva got a hold against Traya and against Gus Malgus.
Wow.
I mean, we both made some mistakes. It was ugly, but we full cleared. And 1961 to 1990 was the final score. Such a bummer. So at the end of the day, my win percentage was only 75% through the whole week. Kind of bummer. Average banners 1521. I'm not proud of it, but it's what it is. Now, this new week that just started, I streamed on Twitch, had a ball. Calvin Awesome showed up, Meathead showed up, a bunch of regulars showed up. It was a really good time. And I got booted down to Kyber 2. Man, I got matched up against someone. Their GP was 10 million, which is lower than mine. I'm 11.8, but it's not totally out of my range, right? They only had 5 Galactic Legends. And I'm like, really? Okay. So, I mean, I walked all over them. I'm not trying to brag. It was just like, it wasn't a fair matchup. 2053 I put up. And so far, they've only put up 882. And I don't think they're getting through. There's a Reva and a Leia. I mean, even if they get through at this point, they've failed a bunch of times. They won't get 2053. But
I mean, how high? What's the highest number that you've had that you can remember?
2053 is right up there.
That's what I was thinking.
I've had a little higher because I actually failed one battle. My Profundity failed to take out their Executor. It was going all right, and then suddenly they Death Starred my Profundity, and I was like, "Hold up, what?
Hold up!"
And then I hung in there for quite a while and almost took them all out, but I couldn't quite do it. So, all right, well, that's not all that we got for you. We have one last nugget. Something to send you into the merry month of June thinking about. Really spending some time mulling over. And that is, who you grinding?
Oof. What's nice is that this is a time where we were talking before the show, like it's kind of me time. I mean, it's like I just took some time off from doing some like a lot of hard work, and I'm just doing whatever I want. I mean, still with a focus, of course, and but it just
anarchy.
I know, right? I can't be. It's not willy nilly. I mean, so. The nice part is Leia's done. Bo's basically done. That team I'm only really working on mods for, so that's kind of nice. And so then my Jar Jar group, I mean, we're not getting close by any means, but we're getting there. So Boss Nass went from 19 out of 65 to a whopping 41 out of 65. So we're moving forward. And then my captain, Tarples, went from 21 out of 65 to 44 out of 65. The last few days, I forgot to use some of that Cantina energy on him. So maybe next time. And so Boomadeer got whopping to 21 out of 30 up to 23 out of 30. So
look out.
We got a while, but still. But the nice, fun stuff that happened really was going to be, some of the people I've really just wanted to kind of get to the next level a little bit. And so Cal Kestis, original Cal, I want him up to Relic 5. He's so helpful in making it to where, I mean, I used him at Relic 5 now, and it's just nice. He was Relic 3, so it does feel like there's a difference, which is kind of nice. Now, armor, that was the big one for me this week. Went from gear 9 up to gear 12, and we are right there at gear 13, which is great. So, and she's actually going to be in the main group, so I think I'm going to take her all the way to 7. So that'll be, I don't know, maybe a smart move, maybe not, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. Now, Kitty Mundy, that's another one. I love that character in general. Just somebody I've wanted to work on for a long time. So he went from gear 12 up to Relic 4. And man, I'm getting to the point where I'm getting rid of so much gear just to scrap that it's like, it's making me uncomfortable. And I still have so many more Relic levels. So, but still, Relic 4, I think I'm going to stop at 5. And then if I'm still in that feeling of continuing to work, I might get him up to 7, but at least 5. So that way I can use his, datacron there, of course. But, and, so that's the biggest things for me. I do have a couple other projects in there from people going from 5 to 7s that I haven't started yet. So I'm looking forward to getting like my mall, my, my cat up to Relic 7, really trying to even right now I only have a Relic 5 Bosk. I mean, so he's a Relic 5 Bosk. So, I mean, it's some of those characters just to kind of go through to do that. So
yeah, it all matters, man. It all adds up.
And I'm only 20 away from getting Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. So that's basically this next time around. I'm going to go through to do that. And then Padme, I'm 309 out of 330. So I'm going to have some here about a month. I'm going to end up having, both of those characters, which would be nice. But Zetas wise, Drogon, I have 1 out of the 2. So his first attack, I did go through do that, and that is just so good. I'm glad I did it. I'm probably about 12 Zetas behind right now. I am so far. Yeah, I mapped out my next Zetas. I had just, again, if you had a gauge on how much I think about this game compared to other stuff in life, yes, I know so many Zetas down the line, but and I'm still just average. That's why I'm just tip my cap to you people that are good. So then ending on this grind here is going to be about the datacrons. It was really kind of fun. I have 11 level 9s, which is the most I've ever had in any sets. So between the two sets, obviously it's 11. So this time around, I was able to get Padme, Ninth Sister, and Reva. Decided that Ninth Sister makes the most sense on the Reva team, so I'm going to have to figure out how to get rid of Reva. But this Grand Arena, I put Reva in there just to see if that was going to be a big difference. Next time I'm going to put Ninth Sister, and then, see, do my own testing, see which one gets any holds. Yeah. And lastly, Kitty Mundy. I re-rolled a Jedi one, and I think it was Luminara, if I remember right, which was worthless, right? Poor Luminara. Yeah. She has a worthless Omicron, and she also just nobody likes her.
Yeah. Her Zeta is not even good. Like there's no upside.
Well, looking at, I thought maybe she would be for Padme or Queen Amidala, and her mechanics actually work against her. And so it's so funny how I mean, it's so interesting when you look at that. But yeah, so that's 11, and then that's of course last time around was SLKR. That was the big one. So I will have a hard time when Bane and Sidious goes away. I mean,
the Sidious one, like I don't use them every time, but when that Bane one goes, we got some reconfiguring to do.
Yeah. So that is a little story about kind of who I grinded on for the whole last week strategically sometimes. Sure. So I have to know, who are you strategically? Who you grinding?
I am grinding a few things. So we got Amidala, and I was like, hey, we're going to take her to 7. Why? why? I don't have her team yet. So, like, I kind of pumped the brakes at Relic 4. Also because I realized as I was setting my defenses for this round of Grand Arena that my Ki-Adi-Mundi is Relic 3, and I wanted to do a 3-man Qui-Gon team with Ki-Adi-Mundi's datacron, and that's just kind of a bummer. So I'm taking him up to 5, and then I don't know, maybe I'll go back. I can't leave someone at 4.
Yeah,
gotta go to 5.
4 doesn't feel right.
Can't. No, that's not right. So there's that. My Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, of course, are at 15 out of 30. But I did get Obi-Wan maxed for gear, and Qui-Gon he's at gear 10. He's almost 11. Just at that next Cairo barrier. In addition to that, I worked Stap a little bit. Took it from 31 up to 50 out of 85. I'll get back to it when I get back to it. I don't know how that's going to work. Ravensclaw, I've been plugging along. I went from 46 up to 56 out of 100. I'm going to do it. And then Malgus. When we got our payout from Conquest, I was looking around at what I could do, and I could have taken someone to Relic 9. And I got real excited. Like, I could do this. But it kind of made more sense to me to take Malgus from 7 up to 8. I mean, he's legit. His ship, legit. I love him.
Yeah.
And he benefits pretty well from Relic 8. So we went ahead and did that. My Jar Jar grind, Boss Nass went from 39 up to 60 out of 85. Phalanx, didn't touch it. Booma, I went from 27 out of 30 up to 25 out of 65. So we're making progress there. And then Tarples, I was at 27 out of 30. And I'm like, look, I got to do datacron or signal data. Sorry. But I mean, he's 3 shards away from a star. So, you know, the shiny thing got me for a minute there. And I took him up to 1 out of 65. For Zetas, I had 3 saved up because I thought Amidala needed 3. But she only needed 2. So I gave her both of hers. And then I gave Tarples his. I don't know. So next up, I think, is probably going to be Padawan Obi-Wan and Master Qui-Gon, and then go back and finish up the Gungans, or I don't know. I don't know the order, but I'm doing all those characters. Those are all my next ones. For Omicrons, last week you may remember, what's that?
I was going to say, I can't wait to be able to say these names on a regular basis. POW and MG, MQG. Like, I'm going to be like POW and MQG, and Grand Arena beat this. I'm just looking forward to that. Even their nicknames, their abbreviations. Sorry.
I love it.
Fanboying.
No, you may remember from last week that I was about to get an Omicron. I was like, I was going to Bo, obviously. I gave it to Keller and Beck.
Oh, wow.
And I think that was 2 weeks ago that I mentioned that. I don't know. Whatever. Point is, next one goes to Bo. Oh, my God. Like, she's worthless without the Omicron. Not worthless, but worth less. So that is definitely happening soon. Datacrons. Last we spoke, my only level 9 was Slicker. Since then, I ended with, I picked up a Padme, a Tick, and a Reva. I ended with 10 total for the set. So, like, not bad for a first outing, I don't think. I'm looking over the other ones that I could get. Like, Gungans aren't going to help me now. And maybe not even by the time they dust. I don't know. I mean, we've got one that's not farmable, so could be quite a while, but like I feel like I've got most of what I would even want. I mean, besides Ninth Sister, maybe, but I'm kind of like, it's good, but it competes with Riva, and I'm, you know, so whatever. And same with the First Order ones. Like, I've got Slicker.
I know.
Yeah, I could get the TIE Pilot one, but like, so much of that is like one or the other. So
I know.
I don't know. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now. I just need more of them so that I can make sure every team has at least a good level 3 ability. All right, that's all we got for you this week. May not be the best advice, but at least we didn't recommend you keep relying on Traya to take Riva out. It's not happening lately, it seems. If you want to continue the conversation, join our Discord server. It's linked in the show description. You can become a real live Jawa by supporting us on Patreon, and you can share your thoughts by leaving us a podcast review. Big thanks also go out to Pabu Papa from swgoh.gg and swgohevents.com for providing all the hard data we misinterpret weekly. Thanks for tuning in, and may the Force and RNG be with you.